Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, people? Beautiful people. The beautiful people watching. We're back again one more time. Back again. We're getting through. We're surviving. We're still not at war yet. Still no civil war. Texas is getting ready to get down, though. They ain't playing over there. Guys, hump day. You know what that means, right? You guys know what that means? We're almost there. Well, gotta say, before I bring my boys on, gotta pour in a little whiskey because I'm experimenting today. Just bear with me. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour me a little beer I haven't had in a while. But this was highly recommended. Whiskey with a little bit of a Newcastle. Drink responsibly, guys. Don't do everything you see here on this show. It's not for kids, okay? And it's not for small men. We make sure we do this responsibly. That sounds very refreshing. Gotta have some head on there, because who doesn't love head, right? I mean, come on. But guys, before I take even my first sip, gotta bring on my co-host, my boy, my man. He's tired. He's a little wired, but he's finally gotten through his workday. He's here with us. Welcome, everybody, Mr. Ethan Thompson.
You're damn right I got through the workday. Fucking got to scramble to get here, man. It's like, yeah, you guys do 5:30? And I'm like, bro, I don't get off work till 5:30. That means I got to get home and fucking shower, and it's just like...
You got to bump up a few people off the road just to get, you know what I mean?
But we're here.
But we're here. That's what counts, man. At least we're here, right? I mean, but it's been kind of a quiet week until a few things yesterday.
Oh, right? You say. Do tell.
Do tell, right? But always, I just want to open up, guys, and say, listen. Sometimes truth is a little bit too much for some people to handle. We don't dive, as of recent, too much into the hobby and the belt stuff, but guys, we're grown men. I think by now everybody should know the difference between, unless you're brand new to this in the hobby, everybody knows the difference between a CNC made belt, high definition acid etched belt, and a standard definition belt, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious, at least to me.
And I'll speak on it because I was, I guess, the culprit, but all I was trying to get across is I try to educate so people don't get hosed. I'm not saying anybody try to hose anybody or anything like that, but I'm just saying you get a lot of these new makers that are calling their CNC HD, and it's just not. There's a big price difference. Mm-hmm. There's a difference in quality. There's a lot of differences. So to get it right, there really shouldn't even be SD HD. It should just be American Standard is the. But
I've said that
we're here in the hobby and we have what we have. So there's SD, HD, and CNC. 3 different things, 3 different processes.
I mean, imagine if you went to Foot Locker and you got yourself a pair of SD Jordans. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, I was looking at some SD Nike Air Mags, the bootlegs on eBay. I kind of want a pair.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Dude, those things are not cheap. They are not cheap. I see some guy on TikTok. He had his grandmother like hand stitch weave, like what do they call that thing? He made him a pair.
Yeah,
and they look, dude, they look nice. I was like, I would sport them.
I can guarantee my wife can knock some of those out.
Oh, she does that too, right?
Yep.
Oh, you're sleeping on it, man.
But she makes giant ass like I don't know, one of our friends, his wife has really ginormous breasts, and she's kind of bashful about them, so she makes her this cover-up thing, and it's like this whole thing to like.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but
ooh, that is fire. It just hit
quickly.
me. Damn.
Quickly before I forget.
Oh yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my brother, my actual brother. Rest in peace. It's his birthday today. Hopefully he found his peace. He couldn't find it here on Earth, so hopefully he's found it wherever he's at, and
amen, brother.
gone but not forgotten.
Happy birthday, man, to your brother, for sure. That's such an important day, especially for us that recently have lost anybody. It's extra tough and special at the same time. Definitely shout out, big shout out, brother. How this came about basically is there's a group on Facebook, and we're not going to mention no names or anything. It's just a group on Facebook. Somebody posted up a belt and said, hey, shout out to such and such for selling me this belt. Beautiful HD belt, right? We've been in the hobby for a little bit. I've been in it a lot shorter time than most people, but unlike most people, I've dove in it pretty hard because of the work I do on belts. So I've had a lot more belts come through my hands than most guys have been in the hobby for like 5 years. So I don't want to say there was a correction made, but it's just a comment, just like kind of letting the guy FYI. That's
It was an
CNC,
education. It was
not HD.
It was for educational purposes, letting them know there's
Correct.
a difference. Hey, this
Correct.
is just CNC, not HD.
That's spot on. It wasn't like, dude, your belt sucks. You're out of your mind. You wish you had HD. That's CNC. Blah blah blah. There was nothing foul about it. But another person injected their opinion very crudely, very rudely about it, and there was a little drama behind it. But it brings us to the whole thing here with belts, guys. There's HD and CNC machine belts, or should I say, there's acid etched belts and CNC made machine belts. You know what I mean? There's an art. That's why it's so respected when we talk about acid etching belts, because it's an art. It's well respected, guys. It's a little different. What's up, Platinum? How you doing there,
good,
brother?
Platinum?
Check out the comments. Don't want to slip on that. Drew, what's going on, brother? What is good? Nick, what's going on? Mike?
I sold Nick, and I wish I didn't. I tried to buy it back, but he's a doucher and won't let me buy it back. I sold him a beautiful Mayon CNC red television. Dude, the thing was beautiful. Sold it. One of those regrets, but hey, live and learn.
Ah, yeah. More than a few things, right? We got Ben Walker. How we doing, Ben? What's going on, brother?
Thank you, bro.
We try, brother. We try. I got these little short arms. I got to choke the bat.
And for me, and I'll speak on this too. For me, back in the day, I was a more abrasive of a belt critiquer.
What's up, Andy? Mark Megan. What's up, guys? Shout out to
Spanning the Globe,
guys, and Spanning the Globe. Love you guys. Love the show.
Yeah, I was more of an abrasive belt critiquer, and I rubbed some people the wrong way. And since then, me and some of the guys that I've rubbed the wrong way have kind of gone full circle. I got guys like Vinny Cargito that we talk now. Before I was little, he thought I was being X way when really I'm trying to just educate, and maybe I came off a little bit like a dick bag or whatever. And now I've lived and learned. But honestly, sometimes truth is like that. Truth. But I dove so deep into like belts and how they're made and everything like that, and I'm just compulsive like that. And guys like Joey, Yeah,
There's
Joey
a
came
passion
back.
behind it.
Man, I'll spot a little detail. That's just how I am. You know, but Joey's an encyclopedia of wrestling. I'd be like, hey, Joey, who was this match? And he'd be like, it's so, March 1992. And I'm like, just, but with belts, I'm pretty good.
I get that. I get it. And there's a passion behind it. You know what I mean? Which is why things kind of went that way. And we get it, guys. Both from the person posting to the person that answered to the person who put the FYI in there, Ethan. You know, guys, sometimes none of that is got any malice or anything behind it. You know what I mean? To be mean, it's just if somebody puts something on it. Sometimes I can't help it. Some other people can't help it. It's just like, ooh, they're not. No, that's not what it is. We gotta just, you know, it's for education. And like the guy said, he'd only been in the belts just very, very, very recently. He's just getting his toes wet into the hobby. So that's something that he needed to know for the future, you know, for his future purchases. You never know. You know what I mean?
You know, to me, and if you're bored and you're passionate about the hobby, take an hour here and there and go through YouTube, and you can Google the processes of you really did, and I'm gonna need you to send that TV back just as a gesture of kindness now. To really hurt, you know. He let Microsoft get in the way, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little hurt. Because I was like, I 100% can tolerate being kicked out or blocked or banned or whatever for being a douchebag, because I've been there, done that. But what I said was more of an educational thing. It wasn't, there was no malice behind it. There was no like, wanted to be a dick about it, could have been a dick about it and be like, yo, you got fucking scammed. You need to fucking start paying. No, I there was nothing like that. And so if Nick wants to make it right in his heart, Red NWA television has sent him.
And just to be transparent on things, and just kind of, I saw the person's video that they posted talking about the situation. They put up a live video and said, hey, my mistake. I thought it was HD. Even when I owned the belt, I thought it was HD. The letters look clear and perfect and and I get that. You know, people can mistake that. But don't go flipping out when people drop some knowledge on you. It might hurt a little, but the thing is, like, you can't go around thinking 2 + 2 is 5.
And, you know, he sent me an apology, and I appreciate the apology, and I appreciate the sentiment behind it. And it's not going to make us best friends or anything like that. But as a man, I do appreciate when somebody can reach out and be like, yo, okay, I was wrong.
And that's totally fine, man. We all make mistakes. God knows I make mine. But what's important, you know, it's like one of those sayings. When you fall off, it's important to get back on. And when you make mistakes, it's important for you to recognize those mistakes. You know what I mean? Just
like Nick. I mean, if Nick would recognize his mistakes and just make it up to me and send me back that NWA. But hey, who am I? I'm not, you know.
It's kind of a stretch. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Mr. Microsoft money, you know.
So, other than that.
Oh, and by the way, good luck on your presentation Friday, Nick. What is up, Facebook user? I think Mendoza froze. Appears like you froze. If you are on StreamYard or watching on Facebook, click the little StreamYard link so we can see who you are. That would be greatly appreciated. But let's see what happens with Mendoza, because he is frozen. He still has his neighbor's internet. So right now his neighbor's probably just getting off work and getting home and firing up their PC. And so he gets a little glitchy from time to time. So we'll see what happens with this live stream. See if we click off or not. If we click off, we'll be back. Don't worry. Could even have Tony that is supposed to be here not here because it's Tony and he is Tony. See, and Nick, you know, just I'm sure you'll keep. Oh, we're both freezing. Am I freezing? Let me know if I'm freezing. Type 1 if I'm freezing too. We'll get this going back up again because you know what happens when you got two Mexicans trying to steal the internet. Thank you, Mark. Platinum, appreciate it. Richard, what's up, brother? Tyler, hey, I'm in the talks with your maker. I believe that's your maker, right? Hey, I'm always willing to give somebody a shot, so we'll see how that goes. I can't put the comments up right now because that's how it goes. Hey, we're over here dealing with bootleg internets, Nick. Come on now. Hey, I'm flying solo, but if somebody wants to come on, hey, I'll send you a link. You can freeze out with me. We'll do it together. But anyways, what's up, guys? How has your guys' week been? How has Hump Day treated you? Tyler, like I said, I'm willing to give him a shot. The HD looked pretty solid. I want to get I'm waiting for him to give me the dimensions on the main plate. I'm a big fan of making sure they're dimensionally accurate. That's probably right. Nick works for OnlyFans and My Feet Finder. So just so you know, that's how he buys so many belts. This is probably CNC internet right now. That's probably where it was. There he goes. Look at it. Had to steal the other.
Sorry, guys.
Like
literally, what do you call it?
Super loud. You're super loud right now.
Super loud. Holy crap. Okay, let me come back in. Okay, let me come back in 1 second because I'm pretty sure I gotta adjust the settings. 1 second, brother.
Hey, Joey, didn't we talk about kicking somebody out earlier? Now look, I'm just saying.
You're welcome.
Not his first boot. Yeah, what I want to do too, Tyler, is I want to get some of these newer makers that are making HD, acid etched HD, and I want to compare them to the classic shields. I want to compare them to the Alianases, the Nawazes, and stuff like that because I think it's a value. What he's selling that belt for is a tremendous price. So, competition, is good for everybody.
Okay, how do I sound now? Everything good?
There you go.
Holy crap. Jimmy boy. What's up, brother?
What up, Jim?
He says, what up, E? I missed these comments, so I got to go back in here.
Yeah, go back. I was locking them down. That's how we're getting through it.
Okay.
Had to fly solo. All of a sudden, I'm like,
Platinum, brother, we work around the clock. They put up that razor wire. We got to get around it. We got to let the people know.
Remember that thing shine across the moon? You're going over the moon. But I was talking about, me and Tyler were talking about his maker. He's got some NWA Luger he posted.
Oh, was it the Great Custom Belt one?
Yes. I might take a swing at it.
I'm not mad at that. That was a nice belt.
My selling point, and this is a homer, and I know it's not accurate, and I know it wasn't on there, but my selling point is that fucking Jim Crockett logo plate. I don't know why, but I love that fucking logo plate on those NWA belts.
It looks clean. Even though it wasn't original, for people that don't know the history of that property plate, a customer commissioned a belt, had it made, and they had to make that plate for them. And ever since they did that, it just kind of took off. People started putting that on their belts. When Reggie made it, because Reggie Parks was the original one who made that belt.
Because even on the Jamar plate, I love that Jamar plate where he has his
all the web
The
info
full,
in it.
the red and the full phone number on there.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
It's crazy. That's crazy, man. Big ass. I like that one, man. I like it when they put stuff on the tip of the belts too, man. It's always pretty good.
I don't talk about tips of belts until I find out what's on that your Warrior yellow Intercontinental.
Mm.
I'm not as huge ring accurate like when it comes to certain belts, because like the Winged Eagle, I think the Winged Eagle looks 10 times better with them thick 8mm sidebars.
Ooh. You know what? That Eagle was meant to have those big, thick sidebars, man. I think if Reggie would have made that belt half an inch taller, half an inch wider, thicker bars from the get-go, that belt would still be around for a little bit longer because it looks so good on TV.
Yeah.
And I still to this day believe that there was different sizes of that Winged Eagle, man, as far as the ring use one, because on some wrestlers that were big, that Eagle looked a little different on them, man.
Well, that was the same. That was the same with the Intercontinental. There's actually two sizes of the Intercontinental.
There was.
There was 8.5 inch. There was 8.5 inch,
right?
And it was either 9 or 9.5 inch. I want to say it was 9.
Could be 9.5. Half-inch difference. I think it was 9.
Because Shawn Michaels like one versus the other for his waistline, and then you look at the Warrior. Warrior probably had the 8.5 incher because Warrior was so big and that belt looked average on him.
And he had a small waist too. We got to remember that.
Dude, for a 270-pound man, that dude had a slim waist.
He was a bodybuilder. He started off as a bodybuilder first, so he had that look, man.
Same thing like Macho and those guys. They had that super slim waist. Chopping off the end of the belt.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of belts in history there where they even put extra snaps on one end, taking off the property plate and putting snaps across that just to be able to get the snap on some guys.
Yep.
Tyler, man, I agree, brother. That tooling, he didn't do a bad job on that. Let me tell you, if I were to get that HD, I probably wouldn't re-leather it.
It looked solid. The beveling looked good.
Yeah, I mean, even the snapbox area had about the right tooling and this type of tools used for the snap area, man. I don't think I would have re-leathered that if I were to get that thing, man.
I just wanted to get there some competition out there. No, that's one thing, Joey. Like, I'll try to get you banned or blocked, or like I'll spam you or be like, yo, he's selling nudes. He's selling nudes. Just to try to get you not to sell that one. That's the one, Joey. You got to stick with that one.
Yeah. I think that's one detail to that belt that it should have kept the diamonds on the tips. I really do think they should have kept that.
It wasn't a bad look. It wasn't.
Not to me, anyway. It put a little extra. It just looked more. When it first came out, it looked a little more regal.
Well, they were always doing something. Well, there for a while. They were always doing something with tips because you had the Hogan tip, the Hogan 86 tip. You had the Andre tip.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had the WCW 91 and 94. Reggie was doing tips on those. A couple of the Intercontinentals had shit on it that you couldn't tell. And obviously the Intercontinental, the yellow one, had something on there that is a fucking mystery.
Yeah. And it's funny right now, Jim mentions this about, he says, Dusty used the belt extender. I just did a crumb rind for a customer and he wanted it to clasp. And I told him, dude, that strap has to be at least 60 inches long, 62. He goes, it couldn't have been that long. I go, dude. And I had just talked about this. Have you ever seen that World Heavyweight Championship, that crumb rind around the waist of Dusty? He used to put it on.
I can't recall ever seeing it.
I gotta go back to a picture where he had that thing on, dude. It must have been on the last two snaps. But I mean, the strap had to be long for that.
Yeah, see, and then you jump to 91 to 94, and I remember Vader holding that thing, and it just looked like smart. I mean, you can't argue.
Yeah,
I really want to get my hands on the Seth Rollins belt. Shut up, Joey. I just want to get my hands on it, see what it's about. Not sure if I'll keep it or not. He did. I've never seen the Dome Globe. He did wear the Dome Globe.
He did wear the Dome Globe. So, I mean, long ass straps, long. Even the Dome Globe at one point, I think I remember seeing a picture where it had like the crumb rind colored type of strap. It was brownish, tannish. I have an old picture of that. And most people just remember it for being a black strap.
And I'm sure they probably just guesstimated, but you remember that segment on Piper's Pit when Andre came out and they debuted the Andre and they tried to put it around him and it didn't fit? They just slung it up on his arm. They're like, shit.
He's just like, you know what? Just
I thought it was made for a giant.
We got bells and belts in the house. What is up? Shout out to Joey, Cedric, and who's the other guy? Help me out here. Oh God, can't remember the other guy.
Yeah,
I can't. Sorry, brother.
I'm not going to be
right here. Tip of the tongue. I'll get back to you on that one. What's up, Richard? What's going on, brother? I think it's one of those belts. You got to have it. And I think even if I were to get a Dome Globe, I think I'd send that to Mark Maggard to get that thing laced, man. He does an awesome job at lacing those belts, brother.
That's another belt I regret selling. I had a Rizwan Dome Globe that was stacked. It was every piece was a relief piece. Mufus!
What is up, brother?
Every piece was a relief piece. All the border things, the thing weighed a ton. But I mean, it was just a good looking belt.
Dude, I can't. My Triple Crown will always be WWF Tag, Intercontinental, Winged Eagle. And those can be in any way, shape, or form. I like the tag could be either the Bulldog or the Money Inc. or as long as it's that classic tag.
The dual plated grew on me so much.
Man Up. Why can't I? It's always so hard to remember that. Man Up. Shout out to Man Up. What's up, brother?
Yeah, the dual plated grew on me so much. So like, if I had three, if I was to be like, yo, there's 3 belts in your collection. And
Joey, you can't mean that, brother. You can't mean that, brother, at all.
No, I think he is. And I think Joey's at a place where a lot of us get to, and he just was man enough to kind of pull the trigger and just be like,
oh, God. I don't know. I think for me, a guy that works on belts and leather, it's going to be super hard.
You're a little different. You're a little different. Yeah, you're a little different.
It's going to be super hard, man. You know, I'm always going to have that itch like, ooh, I don't have this leather, this style yet. I want it. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Here's the question, and anybody watch can answer too. 3 belts. Your Triple Crown. Strap color has to be included. If it has a strap color variant. Which are they?
Winged Eagle has to definitely be the
all gold or dual?
All gold, round cut.
Ooh, okay.
And I will even go as far as to chip the wing on the Winged Eagle.
I think Marabito did that. He had
I will chip that bitch. Man, I will chip that bitch as close as I can to the real thing and have Brett sign it. That would be one. Second, you know the IC has to be the yellow IC, Ultimate Warrior. I there's no way I can get away from that.
100%.
I can't do it. Believe it or not, my favorite tag of all time is the one with Money Inc. Black letters, blue globe. Everybody always has the red letters. I just really love how that looks, and I have it upstairs. I got it. Yeah. I'm working on the other two though.
Obviously, I'm gonna pick the yellow IC. That's just. The all gold's still nice, but with the dual on the tag, I don't know. It's just something pops about it.
It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I just love the size of it. It just looks so classic. It's I love it. Some people like the classic IC. Some people really like the oval IC. Some people hate. Oh God, you just had to do it. Just had to do it.
I had to just. You know? She's never going nowhere. But yellow IC, dual plated tag. Oh. Well, that's Tony. We kicked him off. We kicked him off the podcast a couple seconds before the show. So.
Just right before the whole thing started. Fourth time, by the way. Fourth time.
You know, if I have to say a winged eagle, I love my yellow or my lavender. I love the white. I love the blue. But thinking about it from a, see if I find the picture, from a universally way of collecting, if I had to pick one winged eagle, it's going to be, let's see if I can find it.
I got my winged eagle. I already said it. I don't want to go into further talks about winged eagle because I get into colors and stripes and who had it, and man, I'll end up with all warrior belts. Seriously.
Well, see, that's kind of how I am, but the lavender, as much as I love it, it has a heartbreak to it because of that Royal Rumble and slaughter and that scepter to the head, and it hurts my soul.
I'll tell you what. Like, I would love to have a lavender. I'm going to make it. But here's the thing. I love all the details, the way the snap box is and things like that. But why did they go and do that cut they did around the main plate? It's one of the ugliest cuts around the top of the winged eagle. Instead of being nice and round, it literally goes up and almost squares out. And then a lot of people haven't zoomed into this, but I've done a few. And the tooling area that goes around the two outer side plates, that doesn't go round anymore like the regular winged eagles. It instead of going round like a half moon like this around it, it actually goes down a little into the strap, a little bit, and then it goes straight down and comes back in, which is really weird. It didn't follow the shape of the plates at all, but it's just iconic because of the color, dude, and who had it. Oh, sick.
Round cut, all gold. So I have it Nawaz HD re-leathered on AJ Giddings leather, and then I had him include the
warrior plate, the side plate.
Yes,
gotta have that. You got to.
But I mean, AJ did a great job on the leather. Nawaz killed the plates.
He did a real good job on that cut too, man.
So I have to stick with that one. I just have to. Until my lavender, you get my lavender done. All those little swirly little doodads that go down. See, we can sit here and pick apart belts all fucking day long about, like, because if you watch Money Inc. around WrestleMania 9, they actually had like a few different versions of the Money Inc. belt. Like some of the side plates were like bulldog tag style side plates. Mm-hmm. They were pissing through, and then the Steiners, when the Steiners won the tags. Yeah, I think it was when the Steiners won the tags, I think that was about the time the Steiners got a new set.
Yeah, they changed it up when the Steiners got that. And even Money Inc. didn't have the same exact belts. They both had a different belt. They had different side plates.
Yep.
So, it was around the time where belts were just getting thrown around. You know what I mean?
But think about it like now. We know what we know, and we know what we think we know. We know what like Hazard's put out and stuff. Shout out to Hazard, but we know a smidgen.
Dude, Hazard, he just joined my Mendoza Craft page.
There you go.
I was stoked about that, and he immediately started looking through my work and liking stuff. That's awesome, man. Shout out to Hazard.
We probably know like a fragment of what was actually going on at that time, because I'm sure Reggie was just fucking overwhelmed and cranking shit out, throwing shit out just like this.
Yeah. Just
to keep up.
And
because I remember I heard a story Warrior gave an Intercontinental away at a fucking airport.
I heard that. We all witnessed when Razor Ramon went on what
was it Jenny Jones? Maury.
Yeah, it was Maury Povich, yeah. Right? And he gave away the IC to that kid. And I remember him saying he said that after the show, and then he was like, "Oh shit, I gotta get a new belt. I just gave it away."
One of the older pay-per-views, they gave it away to like the New York senator or governor, Winged Eagle.
The Raw tag grew on me a little bit because of the similarities, but you know, good picks.
You know, Hazard's a good dude, knows his shit, you know, and
good day, good dude. Yeah, and see, the demolition tags is one of those must-have belts. I have two. I have one upstairs by Nawaz. I have another one by Alianas on the other side.
Can you imagine what those demolition tags? Because they sold those tags a couple years ago at an auction for, I think they needed money or something. Can you imagine what those go for now? Seeing what unmarked Reggies go for now, and like other ringies belts. Can you imagine?
And now that both of them passed away, you know what I mean? It's just, it was crazy. I remember going to this, because guys, if you didn't notice, I collect toys also. I have stuff I collect. I went to a place over in Indiana. It's called Kokomo Toys. Very famous around the world. They had a Razor Ramon and a Bret Hart signed Funko. Both of them were really rare get-ups. And I didn't jump on it because I was like, $50 is too much. You know what I mean? I should have jumped on it. I'm kicking myself in the ass even to this day. But as soon as Razor passed, that you couldn't get one signed for under $500-600. And they were selling like crazy on eBay. You gotta jump on those things.
Yeah. I'll probably catch flack for saying it, but you look at the belts, like especially in the WWE era, that's what I'm more leaning to. WCW during the war was something I watched heavy too. I mean, I go back and forth from TBS and fucking just. But if you look at the belts, I think some of the belts, people were made to wear certain belts. Like they just like Texas Tornado with that Intercontinental. It's just
that IC on him. He was just like Warrior. He had good upper body, slim little waist.
Rick Rude, Warrior, and Texas Tornado, and I'm gonna throw Razor in there. By far the best people to ever wear that belt. That fit them. That was them.
I think so, man. I heard somebody say one time that Bret Hart and Owen look good in it, but I totally disagree. Totally disagree.
I like the tag on Owen more than I like the Intercontinental.
I'll tell you what, I think for me, Ravishing Rick Rude, he just looked badass with the belt on. Badass. And they even put extra snaps on him because he said he has such a thin waist that they put extra snaps on him.
Right?
but he was so built. You know what I mean? Fuck, he could have done so much better, man. Too bad he had a pretty bad injury on his spine.
Winged Eagle. He would be number 5, Joey. I would go. No. I'm not saying greatest of champions. I'm saying aesthetically wearing the belt.
We all know the greatest IC champion was the Honky Tonk Man. Come on. We all
know the greatest tag team of all times was Kane and X-Pac. I don't know if Brett would crack my top. He cracked my top 5 of Winged Eagle wearers. I don't think
he's in my
Hogan
top.
would.
He's in my top 5.
Who would be
that's
your
a
one?
toughie though. If you think about it, who's on the top 5? The top 5 of whoever wore the Winged Eagle belt. You can't backtrack. Top 5. Super hard, right? It'd be a super hard mix between Hogan and Warrior as far as wearing the Winged Eagle. If our kicked off co-host was here, he would say Big Daddy Diesel, right? Wore the Winged Eagle best to him. Or Shawn Michaels. But God, it's really tough, man.
I can't.
Taker didn't hold it enough. He didn't hold it long enough for me. But
Obviously, Austin didn't hold it enough because I would probably put Austin up there.
Yeah. But he disrespected the belt way too much for me, to be honest.
Yeah. If we're going strictly Winged Eagle, man, Luger would have wore it nice. Luger would have wore it.
Oh yeah, he would have worked pretty damn good actually.
Check this out though. I'm gonna throw in my top 5. Shout out to the Fat Man. I discovered sumo wrestling on YouTube. So I started click this little video and it was like these guys are like just gonna get you cooking, but they're sumos. I'm like, oh, let's just check them out and see what it is. So that it's like the show's kind of like the real world of sumo wrestling. They're in a camp, they live in a house, they cook together, they train together, they go to tournaments together, the whole bit. So I started watching this, I'm like, this is fucking pretty dope. And then like they have to get together and they have to fix their ring, and their ring is like compressed dirt, and they have to pack it all down.
Oh shit!
Dude, the wild as shit. But so I'm gonna throw Yoko. You know, he got on the shoulder. You know,
He's our people. I mean, we gotta love the guy, but
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go. Macho's my 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Warriors 2, HBK 3, Yoko 4, Brett 5, Hogan 6.
Hogan 6, really?
Hogan 6.
Out of respect, I'd put Hogan first for me. Because Hulkamania helped bring in the WWF into that era.
But Hogan had enough of his belts. Hogan had the 84, the 85, the 86,
86,
the mystery, 87. So it's like, I
know, but I just love that Hogan is tied in with the way that that belt was first introduced. You know, he did the whole interview in the back. He had the other belt on. And when he came out, the music hit and he came out, he had the Winged Eagle around his waist. That iconic for me. So I got to give it to Hogan.
Yeah.
Second would be Warrior, because he gave us the most variations and colors of that thing that we could have imagined in there. You know what I mean?
Let's hold on before you finish. Let's dive the Warrior realm, right?
Mm.
So you have the purest of the purest, like a guy like Joey. Joey will never be. I don't think Joey's like a giant Warrior fan or nothing like that. But for me, so like I grew up. Warrior won the IC in '89. The Winged Eagle in what, 90, 91? When was WrestleMania 6? 90, right?
90?
Yeah.
Could have been.
So for me, I'm 8, 9 years old, and I'm growing up in a different style of household than most people. So when I watch things, I watch things out of necessity to. They weren't for necessarily as fun as they should have been. They were an escape. So for me, like when I watch The Warrior, I see this dude that, because again, I'm a comic book lover. Like and I watched this guy jump off the pages of a comic book.
Yeah, and I know what you mean by that.
Run down this fucking aisle and smash everybody with no regard. He
was like the living Hulk, the real living Hulk, right?
He didn't have to be the excellence of execution. He didn't have to be like none of that.
He was beyond all of that.
I was happy because he was a bull in a china shop, and he took me to a place where it was like, yo, that dude is a real life dude. Holy shit. Like, and so it was a fantasy escape for me. As I get older, I appreciate that, he wasn't the greatest wrestler of all times. He
not a technician by any.
No, he was not a technician, wouldn't be able to carry a match with Brett or Sean or nobody like that. I get that. And that's never been my argument. My argument is time period for 80s kids. He came along at a period where a lot of 80s kids were in the same boat. Because a lot of 80s kids grew up the same way. Yeah. Not all, but most of my friends grew up the same way. We were food stamps and government cheese and all. Yeah. So that's where the Warrior came through with me.
To me, it was awesome because Warrior, I saw an interview that he was talking about this, right? And he says that a lot of the animosity, a lot of the jealousy that came at him, from the locker room and other guys was like, because he said, I wasn't a technical wrestler. I wasn't good in the ring. But I knew how to sell the charisma, the character, how to project, you know what I mean? So he didn't need all that shit. And I agree with him 100%. He didn't need it.
And I didn't need him need it. That was the thing.
Everybody was trying to be a technical wrestler. Yeah. We have the excellence of execution. We had guys doing starting to do aerial stuff. Owen Hart was another guy that was doing that. British Bulldog was a big guy, but he was also very good with, he did a lot of, like 100 chokeholds a match, but
if I wanted something out of the fantasy of what I was in, I would watch Bret Hart be the excellence of execution. Watch Shawn Michaels do what he's doing. Watch Owen Hart fall from the rafters. Whatever I had to do, that's where I could have went to. He was like the ignition to a whole lot of other things. When that firecracker went up in the sky, you take what you want.
I mean, I'll put it this way. Having a machine gun in each hand and taking that machine gun and just going planking and knocking off, technically with a machine gun is impressive to knock one plank at a time, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just badass just to watch an atomic bomb just drop and explode.
He was the real life. If you watch cartoons, he was the real life Tasmanian devil.
Yeah. And see, this is why teams like Demolition and Legion of Doom hit so good. Because there were another type of wrestler that came in and just smashed and ran over their division or whoever they were in the ring with and exited.
And that's the thing. It's like people...
Yeah.
and people...
Yeah.
People treated some... Agreed, Platinum. I think Jake would have been a fantastic Intercontinental Champion.
I think he would have been an awesome WWF champion.
I don't disagree.
He was very psychological. He was one of those guys that didn't need to... Warrior was very... Jake was like, he would make
you remember
come into the screen closer because he would talk so low. You know what I mean?
But remember back then, Intercontinental was the workhorse title.
Yeah.
Bro, I almost got to see him, and then he was during his contract dispute, and the one show I've been to in my life, he canceled.
Crazy.
But and that's the thing is like we can sit on. I wasn't a like a dirt sheets guy. I'm not a dirt sheets guy or something like that. Even to this day, I watch wrestling. I don't go to Twitter. I don't
do that. I don't do that either. I really don't.
I watch it as a fan. I watch it. I don't watch AEW. I watch a lot of WWE. I stay up with WWE. AEW just doesn't do it for me. And I'm sorry. I've tried to watch it, and it's just
some of the stuff they do is just cartoonish. If it makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch a match and it's getting a little bit good, and then they both get out of the ring, and then they start having a hip pump dance off and shit, and I'm like, what are you doing?
And see, I'll love to talk WWE and like that, but like with AEW, I don't even feel like comfortable talking about AEW in the same breath as WWE. It's just not there.
That, believe me. I get you. It really isn't. I'm happy for them. They're growing. They filled up Wembley Stadium and all that, but it seems like they get spikes, but there's no consistency.
There's no steady.
Yeah. It's just in and out.
And like I said, watching this like a fan, I watch it and it's just like, I'm tuning in to see if CM Punk's coming back. I could know 3 weeks in advance, but it spoils it for me, and I don't like that spoil thing.
Is Royal Rumble this Saturday?
Saturday, Royal Rumble.
I will be taking I'm going to take my tablet. I'm going to take my mini speaker, and I'm going to be having it at work. I'm going to get in trouble. I don't care. If I get in trouble, I'll be like, send me home.
You know what time you get off Saturday?
Bro, I go into work at 5 in the afternoon, and we'll be off close to 2 in the morning.
Well, I was going to say, we'll do a little late night live action.
I wish I could. Maybe I get sick. You never know.
Hey, you let me know. I'm always game. But we can't count on Tony, you know.
Well, you never know. The guy's here. He's like a magic trick. Now you see him, now you don't. I don't know.
Right?
But
and that's where I leave my wrestling is just like I leave it to the times where because they got me through a lot. So
I'll tell you, I just want to quickly. I just want to do a wellness check. I want to do a wellness check, and let's. Yeah.
Tell me how funny it would be right now is if he sits down and grandma just slaps the shit out of him again. I could not try to stop Joey from just unleashing the hounds of hell.
I told you not to unplug those lights. I came in down here twice before. I'm not going to tell you again.
Did you eat the last piece of banana nut bread? You little shit.
He did tell me earlier he had the whole house to himself. And he was bragging about, oh, it's so peaceful and quiet in here. And I was like, why do you care if it's peaceful and quiet? Like, what you want to do is listen.
Grandma really that loud?
You want to listen to the meat jerk around while you flap it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Grandma double fisting dudes from the bingo hall? Like, you know, you let us know what's going on before we say anything. Just let us know.
Oh God.
Put that image in Tony's head for him for the night. Like, yo, as he's in bed, grandma's upstairs, like she got an oxygen tank on. She's like, and then meanwhile, two dudes are just like, and they're like, yeah.
Oh man.
Just saying, we've been there, done that.
We got 5 more minutes to the show, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Recommend this to somebody you love. Recommend this to somebody you don't like.
You know, and always, we appreciate you. We're random as hell. We're not saying we're not. We appreciate you guys just tuning in, saying hi. You know, if there's a topic you guys want to talk about, bro, feel free to drop us. We'll talk about it. Guaranteed. We're not scared to talk about shit.
Just feel free to drop a line. This is, I mean, our show should have been called Shooting the Shit, because
This is the safe space. It's a safe space. No, I get there is a lot of great podcasts on there that talk about wrestling, and that's we talk about it when it's pertinent.
touch and go.
You know, we're going to talk about aliens. We're going to talk about some dead shit.
We got to talk about this thing that's going down in Texas.
I seen some stuff.
I mean, are we going to see some shots fired? I mean, Texas. I just want to say to anybody from Texas. My whole life, I've been hearing y'all say,
I'm trying to be some Texan. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to be Texan. Give me a quad. Hold on. If anybody wants to sponsor this, this is it. This is the hobby sponsor. Sponsor me a quad, and I'll go down to the border with an AR-15, and I'll make sure ain't nobody getting across.
I'm just saying, like,
support your local Mexican.
Everything's bigger. Everything's bigger in Texas. For one, that's what they've said. The food's better. The guns are bigger. I just want to see it go down. I mean, bring the nuts to the line.
Is Tony in the seat yet?
Oh no. He's no. But I mean, I just want to know. Biden gave him to when was that? Today? And I think I think they did go and remove some of the razor wire. They chopped it up and moved the sections open for these guys to come back in. They did recognize one of those guys. I don't know if you saw this. It went viral. There was one guy that was saying, "You guys are going to find out who I am. You guys will respect me after you know who I am. You guys are going to find out when I get into America," and this and that, right? And a guy did some searching on his face recognition thing, and they found out he's like one of these guys, like a Taliban supporter type of guy, terrorist.
So
and they ID'd the guy. They've shown pictures and everything. I was like, holy crap.
But a lot of this is going to get ramped up because we're in the. I want a quad though. I've never had a quad, so I want a quad.
Golf carts are fun though.
Golf cart is second tier sponsorship. With that sponsorship, you only get a hat. With the quad, you get a hat and a jacket.
Yeah.
But no, I think a lot of that stuff's going to get ramped up when we're coming in election time. So yeah, we're going to go back to a lot of racism and a lot of things going to go on. So just be prepared for that. We'll discuss more of that.
Well, like they say, history tends to repeat itself, right?
Every 4 years.
So we went through it.
Really, BLM matters every 4 years. Mexicans matter every 4 years.
Mexican food
everything matters. Yeah, everything.
Dude,
you ain't lying. But on the bright side, y'all, it's hump day. Y'all made it through the day.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening. I hope none of y'all are struggling. If you are struggling, always reach out. We're always just a message away, bro. We are a bunch of dudes that have a lot of things going on. And my thing is, I never want anybody to feel like don't have somebody to reach out on and just have an open ear. If you want to just fucking get on Xbox or PlayStation, and fucking just go shoot some shit, let's do it.
I'm moving up in the world. I just got a Nintendo Wii.
Ooh.
So
I got Gamecast.
It's gonna be a while, but I'm catching up. I got some steering wheels, and I got some games in. My kids are loving it. They're loving
His neighbor's internet's cranking tonight, so he's good. He's good. But no, in all seriousness though, just
reach out, guys.
Reach out. Everybody struggles, and know you're not alone or anything like that. And y'all are just fucking the best. Everybody
Awesome.
that takes that little bit of time to tune in and watch us for a little while. You're everybody. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and name them. I appreciate every one of you guys.
Thank you, guys. And on that happy note, guys, I think we're going to end it. It's been a good night. Everybody, thank you for being here, for coming along, like we said before.
Tony, thanks for showing up. Good job.
That special appearance.
Shout out to Tony, your special appearance or your chair.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Joe, we got an open spot.
We got a question. For next week's episode, we have a few subjects going on. Tony, if you object to anything I'm going to do or Ethan's going to say next week, now is the time to speak up or forever hold your peace.
Woo!
Okay, I'll take that as he accepts. We're good to go. So, guys, thank you so much. Again, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week. If God allows it, we'll be here. Have an excellent rest of your week. Have a good-ass weekend. Have a good Royal Rumble weekend. If we can put something together for you guys, we'll try our damn best, okay?
Let's go.
Weez is out. We out, bitches.